Are you struggling to keep track of all your resources in AWS? It can feel overwhelming, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to show you how to list all your resources across all regions in AWS. I completely understand how challenging it can be to manage resources in AWS. With so many services like EC2, VPCs, and API Gateway, it's easy to lose track of what you have. You're definitely not alone in this struggle. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, is there a way to list all resources in AWS for all regions? They mentioned that they want to identify resources they can relinquish. Sound familiar? Let's dive into this together. So why is this important? Knowing what resources you have can help you optimize costs and improve your AWS management. It's crucial for maintaining a clean and efficient cloud environment. And stick around. I have a powerful tip at the end that will make managing your AWS resources even easier. To list all resources in AWS, the user should start by installing the AWS command line interface, also known as AWS CLI. This tool allows for easy management of AWS services from the command line. Next, the user needs to configure the AWS CLI with their account credentials. This is done by running a simple command and entering the required information. Now the user can list all resources across different services. For example, to list all EC2 instances, they can use the command for EC2, and similarly for other services. Finally, to gather all resources across all regions, the user can loop through each region and execute the listing commands. This will provide a comprehensive view of all resources. Fun fact, did you know that AWS has over 200 fully featured services? It's like a buffet of cloud computing. But with great power comes great responsibility, like keeping track of all those resources. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One alternative solution comes from a user who suggests using AWS Config. This service allows you to search for all resources in your cloud environment. Additionally, you can perform SQL queries to find specific resources. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. One alternative solution comes from a user who shared a helpful article listing various tools to list resources in AWS. Among these tools is Cloud Yali, a newly launched service that allows you to view all your cloud resources from different accounts and regions, both current and historical, all in one central location. Now let's shift our focus to a different response. One user shares their experience with a similar challenge. They created a tool called AWTreever, which is a desktop application designed to list AWS resources across all regions. This tool aims to provide a comprehensive overview of your AWS account resources. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. One alternative approach to list all resources in AWS is provided by a user who suggests using the SKU library. For EC2 instances, you can use a specific ARN to scan and print the resource data. For all resources, you can modify the ARN to include your account ID and use a wildcard to capture everything. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. One alternative solution is to use a Python library called AWS List All. This library allows you to list all resources in your AWS account across all regions and services. It generates JSON files for further processing, making it easier to manage your resources. Here's the tip I promised. Consider using AWS resource groups. They allow you to organize and manage your resources more effectively, making it easier to see what you have. And there you have it. You now know how to list all your resources in AWS. Remember, keeping track of your resources is key to optimizing your cloud environment. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips. And don't miss our next video on advanced AWS management techniques.